Imagine you're running late for an important meeting, you turn the key, and nothing. Just a hollow clicking sound. Or worse, you're on the highway and a thick cloud of white smoke starts pouring from your hood. Most car owners treat their vehicles like appliances, but a car is a ticking time bomb of maintenance. Today, I'm breaking down the 7 most common problems that leave drivers stranded and how you can stop them before they drain your bank account. Let's get into it. Number 7. Dead battery. The most common reason a car won't start is a dead battery, and while it often feels sudden, it almost never is. Batteries weaken gradually over time, especially when the car is used mostly for short trips where the alternator doesn't get enough time to recharge it. A driver in Chicago who drove only a few minutes each day ended up replacing his battery in less than 2 years, not because the battery was defective, but because it was never fully charged. Combine that with extreme weather, leaving lights on, or simply age, and battery failure becomes almost inevitable. Most drivers ignore early warning signs like slow engine cranking or dim headlights, assuming everything is fine until the car suddenly refuses to start. The way to avoid this is simple but important. Drive your car for at least 15 to 20 minutes regularly, replace your battery every 4 to 5 years even if it seems fine, and make sure all lights and electronics are turned off before leaving the car. Number 6. Engine overheating. Overheating is one of the fastest ways to destroy an engine, and what makes it dangerous is how quickly a small issue can turn into a major failure. Modern engines operate at higher temperatures than older ones, which means they have less tolerance for cooling problems. A mechanic in Arizona shared a case where a driver ignored a rising temperature gauge for just a few minutes, and that was enough to blow the head gasket and cause thousands of dollars in damage. Most overheating problems start with something minor, like low coolant, a small leak, a faulty radiator fan, or a bad thermostat. These are not expensive problems to fix early, but they become extremely costly if ignored. The solution is to check coolant levels regularly, watch your temperature gauge while driving, and never ignore warning lights. If your engine starts overheating, stopping immediately can save you from major repairs. Number 5. Low or dirty engine oil. Engine oil is what keeps all the moving parts inside your engine working smoothly, and without it, those parts begin to wear down almost immediately. What many drivers don't realize is how quickly damage can happen when oil levels are low or when the oil itself has broken down. A mechanic in Texas reported an engine failure at relatively low mileage simply because the owner delayed oil changes over and over again. Over time, oil becomes dirty, loses its protective properties, and starts forming sludge inside the engine, which restricts oil flow and increases wear. Low oil levels make things even worse by reducing lubrication entirely in some areas. The result is increased friction, heat, and eventually serious engine damage. Avoiding this problem is one of the easiest things you can do. Check your oil level regularly, change it on schedule, and always use the correct oil recommended for your vehicle. Number 4. Brake system wear. Brake problems develop slowly, but they should never be ignored because they directly affect your safety. Most brake systems give clear warning signs long before they fail completely, including squeaking noises, grinding sounds, or reduced braking performance. The problem is that many drivers continue driving without addressing these warnings. One driver ignored brake noise for weeks, assuming it was nothing serious, but by the time he had it checked, both the brake pads and rotors needed replacement, doubling the cost of the repair. Brake wear is normal, but aggressive driving, heavy traffic, and neglect can accelerate it significantly. The best way to avoid expensive repairs is to replace brake pads early, pay attention to any unusual sounds, and have your braking system inspected regularly. Ignoring brake issues doesn't just cost money, it puts you and others at risk. Number 3. Alternator failure. The alternator is responsible for keeping your battery charged while the engine is running, but when it begins to fail, the symptoms can be confusing. Many drivers assume the battery is the problem when the real issue is actually the charging system. A driver in California replaced his battery multiple times before discovering that a failing alternator was draining it. Common warning signs include dim headlights, flickering interior lights, and dashboard warning indicators. In some cases, the car may even shut off while driving because the battery is no longer receiving power. Alternators naturally wear out over time, but the key is recognizing the signs early. Instead of repeatedly replacing the battery, have the entire charging system tested and address the root problem before it leaves you stranded. Number 2. Electrical problems. Modern vehicles rely heavily on electronic systems, from sensors to control modules, and while this technology improves performance and efficiency, it also introduces new types of problems. Electrical issues can be difficult to diagnose because they often cause multiple symptoms at once. Drivers may see warning lights, experience starting problems, or notice strange behavior in different systems. In one case, a faulty sensor triggered engine warnings even though the engine itself was functioning perfectly. Electrical problems are often caused by damaged wiring, moisture, or low-quality aftermarket components. The best way to avoid these issues is to address them early, use quality parts, and rely on proper diagnostics instead of guessing. Ignoring electrical problems often leads to bigger and more confusing failures later. Number 1. Transmission problems. Transmission problems are among the most serious and expensive issues a car can have, and they almost always start with small warning signs that drivers ignore. These signs include delayed shifting, slipping gears, or jerking while driving. Many people continue driving with these symptoms, hoping the problem will go away, but it never does. Instead, it gets worse until the transmission fails completely, often costing thousands of dollars to repair. A mechanic in Florida explained that many transmission failures happen simply because drivers never change their transmission fluid, which plays a critical role in lubrication and cooling. Over time, the fluid breaks down and loses its effectiveness, leading to internal damage. The solution is to change transmission fluid regularly, drive smoothly, and address any unusual shifting behavior immediately before it becomes a major problem. Here's the truth most drivers never hear. Cars don't break down without warning. They give you signs, small signs, and those signs are your chance to avoid bigger problems. A weak battery today can leave you stranded tomorrow. Low oil today can destroy your engine next month. The difference between a reliable car and an expensive repair is attention. If you pay attention early, you can avoid most of these problems completely. And if you found this video helpful, subscribe. Because in the next video, we're breaking down 5 car engines mechanics say you should never buy. And one of them might already be under your hood.